Invasive species are organisms that are deemed foreign from an existing ecosystem. They have the capacity to harm environment, deplete resources, and compete for survival with other organisms in the ecosystem. Invasive species have the ability to reproduce at a high rate. They are also able to survive in most climates and are able to adapt to environment quickly. Most invasive species also have a big appetite and have no natural predators in the ecosystem.
Invasive species oftentimes lurking in the plain sight. It's also oftentimes unrecognizable to the untrained eye. Like here in our country, it's hard to take action against the proliferation of invasive species because general public does not have sufficient knowledge about them.
An excellent example of this is the water hyacinth problem along the Pasig River, because it is not native to the river. The water hyacinths are left alone to spread uncontrollably, hampering the ferries, blocking waterways, and suffocating the aquatic life forms in the river.
Every organism living in the Earth's ecosystem is located in one of the four major subsystems of the Earth, the biosphere. The biosphere is what we could consider as the global sum of all ecosystems. It is a thin layer of the Earth where life exists. The biosphere is a combination and integration of the three other subsystems, the land or the lithosphere, the water, the hydrosphere, and the air or the atmosphere, which supports life on Earth.
We have an extensive history with the way we interact with our environment. The progression of human civilization subsequently assimilated to the destruction of the very land we are situated on.
Looking back in time, where the very first significant land use in the Neolithic era, our nomadic ancestors made use of the land to settle permanently in mound brick houses, farm vegetables, and domesticate wild animals. Then came the use of land for pottery, which gave way to the shortage of water, cutlery, and ornaments.
Eventually, we learned to make use of animals as a means of transportation, which led to the development of roads.
Fast forward to the present time, the way we utilize land became destructive. As a result of urbanization, industrialization, and the progress of civilization, we now flatten mountains in search of precious gems and ores, and convert farmland into subdivisions and malls.
Old pathways became highways and interstates that stretches as far as the eye could see. All of these are just to satisfy the demand and necessities of the modern human being.
Now that we have discussed the characteristic of and behavior of invasive species, could we consider ourselves as one of the invasive species?
It is true that in our present time, destructive means of living fits in the qualifications of being an invasive species. However, considering the amount of time that we have already been roaming the surface of the Earth, it would be sufficient to say that we are already native to the ecosystem. We also no longer have to compete for resources with other species, since we are already able to produce our own food through farming and animal husbandry.
Humans live in this world for millions of years, that we are considered as native on this planet. We survived on this planet for so long that we learned to directly alter the Earth's terrestrial surface to use it as our advantage, to service the needs of human population for food, shelter, and other resources. Our action may be favorable for us to survive, but due to it, it affects the ecosystem and the species living on it. We're certainly not considered as an invasive species, but the fact remains that we are certainly harming the world around us. In conclusion, we had the most transformative and negative impact on this planet, thus making you wonder if human truly is an invasive species.